Welcome back, guys. This is a part 2 for manual testing concepts. If you have not seen part 1, please go through part 1 first, then come back here. Okay. And this video is for those people who want to make their career in a software testing field, and this video going to help them to prepare with their interviews. Okay, to get the basic knowledge of testing. Okay, and to understand the software testing. Okay, so let's start. This is the typical index I'm going to cover with this video. Okay, so first point is test levels, verification and validation. Second, third is exploratory testing. Fourth is UAT and system testing. Fifth is STLC and STLC. The next is traceability matrix, and the last point will be the different test environments. Okay, so let's see the first point. So here, what do you mean by test levels? Okay, so in software testing there are different test levels where the work is going on level by level. Okay, so the first level is unit test level, where developers are check a unit piece of code is working as per functionality or not. Okay, the second level is integration testing. Okay, where developers integrate two or more modules and give it to the testers. So as a software tester, we need to check that whole modules and check the data flow between those modules. Okay, for example, if we take an e-commerce application where we are logging, okay, and logging as a user, and we have selected some items, like we have selected some shoes. Okay, shoes, and added to the cart. Okay, so make sure that those items, like those items are reflecting in the cart or not. Okay, to check the integration between both the modules. Okay, so the next level of testing is the system testing, where all the end-to-end flow is tested for the software application. Okay, so in the system testing, both functional and non-functional needs are tested. Okay, so what do you mean by functional? Functional is the all the requirements are filled or not. Okay, all the test cases against the requirements are executed here. If there are bugs, so those are reported into the bug tracking tool like Jira. Okay, and assigned to the developer. And non-functional leads means here the checking the environment for the software. Okay, and the performance of the software by applying load. Okay, and the volume. Okay, so here end-to-end testing is the focus. So if I give example of e-commerce site, so end-to-end flow will be the right from the beginning to the logging into the e-commerce website. Okay, adding a product into the cart. Okay, checkout for the that product, and doing the payment by using payment gateway, and the payment has successfully done. Okay, so that is the end-to-end flow where user is able to buy a product from e-commerce website. Okay, and the last level of testing is acceptance testing, right? So here the requirement or the specifications are checked against the contract and contract of the delivery. Okay, so here typically a user checks the requirements are like whatever the product it designed and developed meeting the requirements as per the SRS or not. Okay, and he checks it as per the user requirement and the business flows here. Okay, before going to the production. Okay, user acceptance testing it is called. The next topic is verification and validation. So this is the important topic, guys. So what do you mean by verification and validation? Okay, so verification in software testing, it is a process of checking the document, design, code and the program in order to check if the software has been built according to the requirement or not. Okay, so the main goal of the verification is to ensure quality of the application design and architecture. Okay, so here the software is checked again the design code and the quality, the architecture of the software application as per requirements it is developed or not. Okay, so basically the example of verification is reviews, walkthroughs. Okay, so the next is validation. We will see validation. So validation is nothing but the testing the software product actually meets exact need of customer or not. Okay, so here all the types of testing comes into the picture, like unit testing, integration, system and UAT. So basically after developing the software, so developer give it to the QA region for testing, where validation come into picture. Okay, so we will test these software using the different types of test cases. We will find the bugs as much as possible. Okay, and assign back to the developer, and developer will fix those bugs and give it back to us, and we will retest those bugs. Okay, to ensure that the bug is no more or the minimal bugs are there. Okay, so here the software is tested against the software requirement specification. Okay, so the next topic here is the difference between both verification and validation. So here in the verification, the processes including like checking document, design and code of the program, whereas in the validation, testing, validating or the actual product. Okay, so in the verification does not involve execution of the code, whereas in the validation involves the execution of the code. Okay, so the next point here is verification can uses method like reviews, walkthroughs, inspection, desk checking. Okay, whereas in the validation it checks black box testing, white box testing and non-functional testing, right? So the next point here is in verification checks whether the software compound the specification is checked. Okay, and in validation it checks whether software meets requirement and expectation of the customer or not. Okay, the main focus in verification is finding the bugs in early in the development life cycle, whereas in the validation it specify the verification process. Okay, it can find bugs the verification process cannot catch. Okay, so the bugs which are left from the verification process, like requirement gap or any missing information, okay, that does not make sense. Okay, so in validation it is catch. Okay, so here is the target is main focus is architecture, specification, design, high level and low level, and database. So what do you mean by exploratory testing? So exploratory testing is one of the type of testing where test cases are not created in advance, but tester can check system on fly. Okay, so as a, new tester, or if you enter into an organization, you don't know anything about their product, what is the application is. Okay, so first your manager will ask you to perform exploratory testing, where you will just explore about the software product. So you will try to identify different types of scenarios. You will try to identify different types of test cases. Okay, and you will explore the functionalities, okay, by your own. Okay, so here the focus is on the thinking capacity. The main aim for this exploratory testing is like thinking activity for the product. So what are the possible scenarios you can find out as a tester? Okay, so what are different functionality? So is it uh, user intuitive or not? Okay, are you able to perform any flow or not? Okay, the main focus is like to discover, like discovery, investigation, and to learn in the software, like exploratory testing. Okay, so let's move to the next, which is a system and UAT. So what do you mean by system and what do you mean by UAT testing, and what is the difference between those? Okay, so UAT is also known as user accepted testing. Okay, it is one of the type of testing performed by the end user or the client to accept software system before moving the software to the production environment. Okay, so here a name itself is stated that user acceptance testing, where user, okay, or the client going to test a software product, okay, on one of the environment where he or she can perform different types of business flows as per business requirements and user requirements. Okay, he will create a user different types of realistic data on which he can perform different types of flows. Okay, so basically UAT is done on the final phase of the testing after functional integration and system testing is done. Okay, so this is all about the user acceptance testing, where a client or some members from the higher management, okay, test the system as a user requirement or as a business flows. Okay, whereas system testing is one of the type of testing where it validates all the flow of the software product. Okay, so uh, the main focus is like functional non-functional testing here. Okay, like end-to-end testing and the performance testing for the system. Okay, and here are some of the differences where uh, uh, the STLC and STLC comes into the picture. Okay, so STLC is a software development life cycle, and STLC is the test life cycle. Okay, the object of the STLC is like after successful development of the software, software is given to the testing and other phases, where STLC main object is testing. Okay, uh, so the next parameter is requirement gathering. In terms of SDLC is done by the BA people, okay, or the domain experts, and they will create a software requirement specification document, okay, SRS document, where in a STLC the requirement gathering is done by the QA team to analyze QA people to analyze functional non-functional document, okay, and create system test plan, right? So high level and low level design in software development life cycle is created, okay. And in STLC, the test analysts create integration test plan, okay, whereas the coding, the real code is developed and actual work takes place at the design document as per required of or SRS, okay. Where in terms of testing, testing team prepares the environment and execute team, okay. The last point is maintenance, okay. In software development life cycle phase includes the post deployment support and updates, okay. Whereas the STLC, okay, these people as a software tester will execute a regression suite, automation script, and check the maintenance and code deployment, okay. So let's move to the next point, which is traceability matrix. So traceability matrix is a document that maps user requirements against the test cases, okay. So it is one of the type of document which makes sure that each scenario having at least one test case as per user requirement, okay. And the main purpose of the RTM is to make sure all the requirements check against the test cases and the functionality, and no single functionality is unchecked during software testing, okay. So let's move to the example of RTM, okay. So this is a typical RTM look like, okay. So requirement number, requirement description, okay, test case ID mapped to the requirements, and the status of the test cases which are pass, execute, or not pass, fail, or not run it, okay. So see this this is the requirement. So let's move to the next topic, which is different types of environment, okay. So generally there are 4 types of environment in the software testing, okay. So so development is the reason or the environment where developers develop the code of the software, okay. They generally perform here trial and error on this environment. They develop code, they test the functionality according to the requirement in this environment, okay. After development of this the code, at their end they push it to the next environment, which is the testing environment or the QA environment, okay. Here as a software tester, our role starts. So here we will check all the test cases, we will run all the test cases and execute them, okay. And we will find the bugs, okay, check the flows are as per user requirements or not, okay. We will find the missing information or the gaps between the requirement, okay. And the UI high level critical bugs here, all the testing like a unit integration system testing performed here, okay, in this testing phase, okay. So the next environment is staging or pre-production. After successfully testing on these like unit integration and system testing, so the code is pushes to the staging or pre-production environment, where the client or the some people from the testing team, which is a higher authority, or the some people from the client side will test the software product with the different types of realistic test data, okay. They will create the flows, they will test the flows, and they will check the software product against the So production or the live environment is the environment which is used by the client or the actual user. Okay, and here as a software tester we just hope that there should not be any bug. Okay, or if there is bug like which is related to the UI related. Okay, uh, so as a software tester we hope here there should not be any bug leakage with this environment, because this is very critical and crucial environment which is directly in contact of the actual live user. Okay, like a mobile app or the any website. Okay, so that's it for this video, and you all guys are take care. Okay, bye.